Good morning. Welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. My name is Merciful Ajinamo. We have a few big stories on the newspapers this morning, and analyzing them is Adebayo Fajimi. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm very fine.
Let's begin with, of course, the big story on the Guardian newspaper, and that says presidential primaries intrigues as PDP loses Eagle Square to APC. We have a couple of riders there, and that's the big story on the Guardian newspaper. What do you think this drama is all about, just as the Guardian stated?
There is nothing so special about that. Party can do their primaries, they can hold their convention, anywhere, anywhere. That's my opinion anyway. But, we are just, our people are fond of, using, Eagle Square as a strategic place, to do for their primaries or for convention, whatever they want to do, because, it's a very strategic place for them. But I think MK Abiola is still not bad. I think what really matters, in all this drama is the potency, how potent and how strong, how credible the aspirant is going to be. So I think it is the result that matters. It's not even about places or events or venue, as the case may be, but the credibility and the potency, the strong, how strong whoever is going to emerge will be. I think that is what really matters for them come 2023.
All right, still on the Guardian newspaper, we see an update talking about this ASUU strike. Security operatives shoot dispersed students protesting ASUU strike. Now we have students who have suffered, of course, their education for a while now, and this has become the unbecome, right? And they are saying, look, they want their education back, they want everything back, and we are having a report that people shoot at them, when they are carrying out their fundamental human right. What's your reaction to that?
This is not the first time this will be happening. It is just very pathetic that we still have to witness something like this, at least in this at this point in time. Very quite pathetic that education is not a right of every young Nigerian. Even though our leaders keep saying you are the leaders of tomorrow, there is nothing you can do with education and things like that, but you can see their understanding and their intent by their actions. Because if you really trust that, or if you really know that education is the only weapon to change the world, to give people better future, to be able to take care of themselves, and for national development, you would not be taking that sector for granted. And these young people are protesting that this is our rights, answer the call of these people and let's get back to school, and only for them to be dispersed or disbanded by security operative, which is very bad. So but I think it's also a strong message to these students also, because majority of them are voters, and but don't be surprised at the end of the day that most of these people will eventually still come back, and come and appeal business, to these politicians, who are denying them, their rights. So it's just quite unfortunate.
Oh, that's a sad story right there on the Guardian newspaper. Let's go to the Nation newspaper. We see the big story there: presidential governorship primaries, APC begins process, and that's on the Nation. Big story there. From the very top, soldiers chase away protesting student in Akure. Then we have EFCC relocate arrested accountant general. That's still on the Nation newspaper there. And then we see just besides that, 9 die, many injured in Kano gas explosion. And then we see Deborah NBA shift Sokoto conference. That is on that newspaper right there. Then we see just underneath that, Ekiti 2022, Onifayemi clash over LS Plus to disrupt poll. And we see Oyebanji, I'll take Ekiti to next level of greatness. And ADP chairman quit over inept national leadership. That is on the Nation newspaper. And then we see just underneath that story, bandits kill 7, abduct village head. And then we see no scoring error in UTME. No scoring error in UTME, says JAMB. That story is on page 24. And then we just have on top of the banner headline there, we see Amotekun's success makes restructuring impressive, says Bauchi governor. That is on the Nation newspaper. And of course, that's on the front page right there. And then we see something on the Nation on page 5, the arrest of former Speaker of the House of Representatives. What do you make of that update, really?
Yeah, we say it's a very good development. It's good that these people have been exposed, and even though they are still under investigation, so they have not been convicted, by any court. But I think what really matters is not our capacity to expose these people, to shame them, whether for political expediency, I don't want to know. But I think what matters, like I keep saying, is the outcome, of all this, because we have seen, time and again in this nation, whereby anti-graft agency are being, unleashed, on politician because, for political expediency, especially at a time like this. So it used to happen. But, the matter is, the point is, how sure are we, that these people, will be well prosecuted, will be well investigated, and if found guilty, they will be, they'll be put to shame. I think that is really, what really matters. Because if I see a young, a big wig, it's a lesson to younger ones. If you see somebody who you respect a lot, and that person is being caught in a mess or messy act, and that person is being put to shame, if that young fellow, when he grows up, if he wants to do something like that, he will remember what happened to that person. But sadly, we are not having that in our polity. So everything is just because of political expediency, and that is very bad. So, arresting her, of course, over that embezzlement, of course, I would say it's a very good development, but, exposing them is not enough. They should be well investigated, prosecuted, and if at the end of the day, if truly, they are guilty, of course, let them be put to shame, no matter where they belong to and no matter how powerful they are.
All right, we move over to the Daily Independent newspaper, and from the very top there we see Deborah MBA condemns killing, postpones Sokoto conference. The big story says private insurance account at risk as NPF mauls insurance outfit. And then beside the picture of the day, gunmen lists 9 Anambra council areas for attack on page 7. On page 6, Tinubu says, I won't retire from politics until I'm president. Don't you feel a sense of desperation in this statement?
Well, I don't think there is no sense of desperation there. It's just trying to, is expressing himself.
His wish.
His wish,
and his dreams.
Of course, and his dream. So if he says, okay, he will not retire until he becomes Nigerian president, of course, so be it. But I think, that is impossible without the support of the people, because we're in a democracy, we are not in a monarchy system. So if he says he wants to become the president, or he will never retire until he achieves that, of course, the ball is in the, I think the ticket is in the hand of the people. So if people support him, right from his party, and he becomes the flag bearer of the party, and they fired him, in the general election, and people vote for him, because if you say whatever aspiration you say you have in a democracy, without the people, there is nothing you can achieve. So, well, if he knows how to play his politics, and eventually, if he knows how to play his politics with people, I think that is what will determine whether truly,
Definitely agree with you on that one. Is based on the people's choice. The Punch newspaper big story says Deborah's mother can Plateau Benue churches adamant insist on Sunday protest. That's the big story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Then we see just on the lower banner, 9 killed in Kano. Police resident disagree on explosion. 9 killed in Kano. Police resident disagree on explosion. That's an update in Kano State, talking about the explosion, the affected people right there. On page 7 of the Punch newspaper is where you get this story. And then on Daily Trust, of course, it says 29 die in Kaduna auto crash, and then Kano explosion. The number is pegged at 29 in Kaduna auto crash and Kano explosion. And that's the big story on the Daily Trust newspaper. Lower banner says presidential ticket, APC PDP delegate rake in millions as aspirants scout for vote. On Business Day, the big story on business is Nigeria stocks emerge Africa's best performance. That is on the Business Day newspaper. Don't forget, you can always stay updated on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, and our social media handle is at TOSTV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Keep up with us and stay updated on happenings in Nigeria and across Africa. Many thanks, Adebayo, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, viewers, who come your way again tomorrow. My name is Merciful Ajino. Bye for now and stay safe.